I'm Helena Dodds. I'm going to show you some games and activities to improve your children's reading and spelling skills. The time you spend with your children using these techniques will build valuable family relationships. They will also help your children develop excellent learning habits. In this video, I'd like to give you mums and dads the confidence to make a genuine difference in your children's education. There is, however, one important point to remember. You are the parents and not the teachers. Leave the teaching to the teacher. Teachers are trained and skilled to do their job, and many of them who are parents will tell you that they prefer not to teach their own children. So point number one, no teaching. Your role is to encourage and support your children. I'd now like to read you a quote from the National Assembly for the Teaching of English, and it goes like this. Listening parents hold the key to children's literacy. Research has shown that progress of children helped at home can exceed that of children helped by specialist teachers at school. So parents, please realize the valuable part that you can play in your children's learning process. And now let's proceed to the program. Hello. I'm going to show you how to deal with the reading homework. This can often be long and very, very tiring for both you and your child. Today, Tama's here to help me. She's brought home her reading book, which is Roald Dahl, The Magic Finger. Now, what we're going to show you is some different ways to speed up the reading and make it fun. Tama has a reading card which her teacher gave her. It gives the date, and yesterday she had to read from page 8 to 11. Remember that, Tama? Mm-hmm. Today, Tama has to read from page 12 to 26, which is quite a lot of pages. Now, what we do is, the first thing, we made some cards. I always keep a stack of cut-up papers here, about that size. Now, yesterday, we took out the words that were a little difficult for Tama. Do you remember these? Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at them. Tama, which is the word that says Saturday? Great, that's it. Which is the word that says William? Was the boy's name, wasn't it? Good. 11. Right. Family. Good. Greg, which was the name of the family. Laughed. That's it. And the two words Mr. and Mrs. Remember those funny little words? Right. So Tama now knows her sight words from yesterday. Now, we have a few ways of working. We have a game called Change. We have a time when I read a page and Tama reads a page when she's feeling tired. And when she's feeling very tired, like she's been to horse riding and ballet, and all she wants to do is come home and fall into bed, then I read everything for her while she follows. So today, I think we'll do Change to show everyone. You okay with that, Tama?
Yeah.
Right. The Change works like this. Tama may start the reading. I have to follow very closely because all of a sudden, Tama will say, Change. And that means I have to read. I read for a while. Tama watches very closely until I say Change. And we read like that for as long as we feel like. This, of course, keeps the attention of your child, and it keeps you awake as well. Are you ready to demonstrate, Tama? Mm-hmm. Good. Uh-oh, I see the first word is quite a difficult one. So you hold the place open. Have a look at that word. What color would you like to do today?
Green.
Green's a good color. Right, I'm going to give you a clue what this word is. You have to guess the word. Can you guess what it is?
Yes, it's guess.
Well done. Guess is our first word. And do you know what that word is?
Whiskers.
Good. We like to start off well without any errors. Okay, would you like to begin?
Guess what? Whiskers began growing out of her face.
Good heavens.
They were long black whiskers, just like the ones you see on the cat, just much longer. Change.
And how fast they grew. Before we had time to think, they were out to her ears. Change.
Of course, the whole class started screaming with laughter. And then Mrs. Winter said,
Good.
"Will you be so kind and tell me what you find so madly funny, all of you?" Change.
And when she turned around, change.
Something on the blackboard, we saw that.
Well, what happened there was I was a little unfair. I came in with a change right in the middle of a sentence, and Tamma was slightly asleep, weren't you? So she left out some words. Point an error out to your child. Don't make him or her wrong. It interrupts the flow of the reading and makes the child feel anxious. So just show what happened and then move on. In this case, we're going to go back to my part. And when she turned around to write, change.
Something on the blackboard, we saw that she had grown.
I'm going to stop Tamma there for a minute. Did you notice how when we took off the second time, Tamma began reading using her finger as a marker? This helps children keep their place. Never make a child wrong for using the finger. Notice yourselves, when you want to read something very quickly, you will immediately use your finger. So fingers are to be encouraged. Right, Tamma, sorry to interrupt you. Go on from she had grown a tail.
She had grown a tail as well. It was a
huge. Let's put that word on a card. Huge. H-U-G-E, huge. All right, now we've got two words, huge and guess. Okay, so it was a huge what?
Bushy tail. I cannot begin, change.
Oh, to tell you what happened after that. But if any of you are wondering whether Mrs. Winter is quite all right again now, the answer is no, change.
And she never will be. The magic finger is something I have been able to do all my life. I cannot tell you just...
Hold on, Tamma. This word here, can't. Okay? Remember the apostrophe? I'm going to put that one on the card for us. It's can, apostrophe T, and it says can't. Now we've got three words, huge, can't, and guess. Okay, would you like to start that again?
I can't tell you just how I do it because I...
And so we would go on. We could go on for a number of pages like that, perhaps right to the end. Be aware of when your child becomes tired and restless, because then it's time to take a break. The maximum time you and your child should sit down and read is 10 minutes. After that, the reading loses its potency, and it's really time to take a break. Shall we take a little break now, Tamma?
All right.
Feeling better, Tamma?
Yes.
So am I. Now we're going to do it by the second method, and that is Tamma reads a page and I read a page. This can also help to speed up the reading, and Tamma's following the page that I read. We're both wide awake. So that would mean Tamma reads a page, and look what a nice short page Tamma got to read. I would read the long page, Tamma reads the short page, and so on for another few pages. We've now got to a good 12 minutes reading, and the reading pages still aren't finished. So what I would do in those circumstances, I would simply read the last 3 pages to Tamma. 15 minutes of reading aloud is quite enough for a child. A good reader could take the book and read on. Tamma is going to listen now while I read the last 3 pages of reading to her. Okay, Tamma? When morning came, Mr. Gregg was the first to wake up. He opened his eyes. He was about to put out his hand for his watch to see the time, but his hand wouldn't come out. "That's funny," he said. "Where is my hand?" And so I would read to the end of Tamma's reading for the day. I would sign her reading card, And there you are, Tama. Put your book safely into your school bag so that you don't forget it tomorrow. It's time to play the racing car game. With your video, you will have received a black and white racetrack, something like that. The racing car game is a game to teach your child sight words and spelling. You'll remember earlier when Tam and I were reading, I made cards of those words that Tama didn't know. Sight words are words that a child would not immediately recognize. Take a word like this. When a child doesn't recognize it, he or she would immediately start to sound it the way they've been taught in school. He might go e, b, o, a, t. E, b, o, a, t. Of course, that sounds nothing like the word about. So, once the child recognizes this pattern as about, when he comes across it in his reading, he will immediately know it. A word like this, if he or she doesn't know it, he can go k, at, and it's very likely that he'll recognize it as cat. That's the difference between a sight word and a word that he can sound out. Now, how the game is played. The copy you received with this video is your startup kit. This more exciting and comprehensive option can be bought in a proper board game version. I highly recommend that you buy it. These are like the chance cards you received in your kit. They are called that because no one knows who will win the game. Even though I know all the words, I might land on a chance that says go back 5 spaces. I might be told that I have to miss a turn. Tama may be told that she goes past me by 5 places. You just never know. So we're going to play the game now. Okay, Tama? We're going to use the words that we took out of your reading. All right? You'll notice I've written an R on Tama's words. That means reading. When they're spelling words, I put an S. So here we've got the reading words. All right, Tama, we've got a tall blue one and a flat blue one. Which one would you like to be?
The tall one.
The tall one. Okay. Well, would you like to go first?
Okay.
Take a word. Can you read that word? That was a hard one. Okay, this was the last word we did, so Tama didn't get that one. The word is huge. H-U-G-E, 4 letters. But we have to let that one go because Tama didn't get it, so she doesn't move at all. Now it's my turn. And I got the word can't. Now the word can't has an apostrophe in it, and so that we remember it, we count the apostrophe as well. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can move 5 places. Your turn, Tama.
Guess.
Great. How many letters?